Hello, guys. Thanks for coming on the call. It's a privilege to be here. We've have such an exciting time at the moment. Cloud Token is taking the internet by storm. Everybody from all over the world now that's involved working online is after hearing about this project. We're privileged to be a part of it. Ronald, myself and Matthias are really excited. We've been in the industry for a long time, and we must say in our 11 years working online, this has been the most exciting project to date, and we've been fortunate enough to be involved in some previous good projects. So thank you for that, and it's a privilege. The first question me and Matthias would like to ask is where we are now, what's coming next over the next 4 to 8 weeks in this project?
Hi. Okay. It's a very good question, Paul. So basically, we're working on very exciting things to come in the 2 months down the road. Actually, especially for the celebration event that we're going to have in KL in the coming month. So we have actually heard a lot of response and actually or requests from the members saying that, hey, I have a lot of other type of cryptos like Stellar, Dash, and a lot more other kind of cryptocurrencies. How can I actually put it into the Cloud Token wallet, which we do not support now, right? So in the next coming weeks or week, okay, we'll be launching an atomic swap feature. So basically, members with all these exotic-ish cryptos can actually swap into the TUSD wallet, their own TUSD wallet, okay, which they can then put into Jarvis to do a trade, okay? So that's one. And the second thing that is coming is this. Because of the current and the fluctuating market, okay, a lot of accounts whereby they have actually put in a lot of Ethereums, it's actually below the 500 level, right? And we have seen a lot of them actually taking it out and then converting it into USDT and then putting it back in again. But because the USDT that we're using is actually ERC20, not a lot of places actually supports it, right? So basically, in this coming weeks or week or so, in the project feature itself, there is an option for you to actually swap it directly from Ethereum into TUSD, which you can then actually pump it up to become 500. That will save you a ton of cost and a ton of time. So that is the fastest things that's coming at this week or so. Now, we have also said that we're coming out with a prepaid card, right? The MasterCard system. The KYC would come through in 2 or 3 weeks' time, whereby members that is C2 and above can actually start to actually use the third-party KYC to apply for the card. And once your KYC process is done and you are approved, okay, we would actually that would actually land you a particular spot to actually redeem or to buy the ticket to our Malaysian event. And the Malaysian event itself, you can collect your card and start to activate your MasterCard and start to use it. That is sometime in 2 or 3 weeks, 2 weeks time, I believe or so. Then the next feature that's coming out is the OTA feature, which is like a travel agency feature, whereby because we want all of you guys to come for our Malaysian celebration event, you're able to book your flights, your hotels, your travel arrangements, all through the wallet itself using CTOs. Okay, so all these are coming in a couple of months before the event itself. Yeah.
Wow. So guys, you hear that? What we're seeing here is a project where we're seeing true utility. So we're going to have a token all in inside one application where we can use on a day-to-day basis. Like, I know many crypto assets out there have some great features, but I'm not sure of any one out there will have so much utility attached to it, which is fantastic. Ronald, another thing I want to ask if you could elaborate on as well. There was some talk before of that regarding the reserve pool. So basically, you were talking to an outside party that we could verify that the reserve pool that was there. Can you elaborate any further on this?
Yeah, actually, it's good also. Thing is, you know that we have actually registered our company in Australia, and we're trying to get the FSL license, the financial service license, right? And this license itself requires us to have certain criteria in order to get how to say to get it. And one of it is to have a third party to look at or to audit the assets that we have. And we cannot look for a traditional financial institution because they only verify fiat assets. Now this is a crypto asset. So basically, through our lawyers itself, we are actually looking for a escrow to actually look after the funds. So, and that company would be Ledger. We're trying to work with them. And once this is done, okay, what Ledger would do, or this escrow would do, is to provide a snapshot of the health of this wallet, maybe weekly or monthly. I'm not sure what is the arrangement like yet, to the public.
And guys, like, I hope everyone on the call listened carefully to that, because like when we're involved in this industry, transparency is sometimes lacking. And what we're experiencing with this project with Ronald and the team is 100% transparency. And when you have an outside company like Ledger, who are huge and renowned name in the industry, verifying what you have there, that's unbelievable. Now, Ronald, this takes me to my next question. We have a lot of questions around the reserve pool, okay? And a lot of questions like, can you elaborate to people, like, and this is, I'll ask you the question people are asking, and I'll leave you answer it, because for me, this really shows how robust the system is. Can you elaborate, like, we have two pools. One pool is where you deposit into your Jarvis, and the other pool is the reserve pool. So let's say, for argument's sake, in 2 years from now, everybody all of a sudden wants to withdraw their cloud tokens. Can you explain to people, if this happens, how the system is so robust and how the system is built to sustain something like this happening?
Okay, unlike some of the other projects that uses only one pool, which is the investment asset pool to actually peg their price on, or some other method. But what we are doing is this: we separate the investment wallet and the reserve wallet, which is the profit wallet, okay, into two different ones. So the profit wallet, based on the number of circulation of CTOs, determine the price. That is, the profit determines the price. And you still have your investment, okay, which does not determine the price. Okay, which means that if there's a big influx of someone coming in with a large fund, it won't actually affect the price at all, because we have not taken this fund to trade. Whatever result that comes from this trade, okay, that will affect the price. Right? Is that clear enough?
Yes,
right.
Very clear.
Yeah. So basically, trading is only one portion of how the profit price would, or the profit wallet will actually gain more assets. One of the things that we're working on closely is with merchants. Okay, of course, you know that we are a utility wallet. So basically, we're going to have a merchant program whereby that is where we are actually getting our OTC license from Zeza. Basically, what it does is to allow us to have a bank account, okay, in US dollars that is able to do crypto trade. Now, what it means is this: if you are a merchant and you want to accept CTO, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Stellar, or whatever kind of tokens you want to receive, okay, normally you are affected with the volatility of the market. But with our program itself, you are able to choose how many percent you want to liquidate and how many percent you want to keep. For example, I am a very small shop. I need liquidity for my business. Okay, So I would say that I want to liquidate 95% of whatever I get from cryptos. Okay. So what happens is, like, this crypto that is being paid by the user hits our OTC. We sell 95% of it into US dollars. Okay. We will then, within 1 to 3 days, put it back into your bank account. Okay. Your company's account or your shop's account. And the 5% is in your wallet, which you can choose to liquidate anytime you want with us. Now, when we do this particular cycle itself, we actually earn from the trade, okay? And this profit itself goes to the profit wallet, and it helps all the rest of the members. So these are the things that we are doing through the members, through the merchants, through the member spending, and all of this will actually increase the number of profit there is. Now, if the member used to withdraw a lot of CTOs, not say withdraw, to convert CTOs into Ethereum or whatever asset in the future itself, it would just draw down basically from the profit pool, okay? And that itself would sometimes maybe affect or maybe might not affect the price. But it should be net off eventually. It's because the profit pool itself, you have every day a lot of profits coming in from the various different channels. But if there's more withdrawal than the profit channel, then you might see a dip. But for that, we have a particular a strategy in order to counter that. Because Jarvis itself, we only pay from 6 to 12%. But what if Jarvis earns 18 to 20% for that particular month? That extra is a buffer which you use to patch up. Okay, yeah. So what we are doing is actually quite logical, and it's actually part of the ecosystem structure or strategy in order to maintain the price of the tokens.
Yeah, that's powerful. Oof, that's powerful. Like, so people, guys, I hope you're listening to what was said there. So like even like on the overview of everything, let's say for whatever reason, if a large group does a lot of withdrawal and the price goes down, like look at the strategy that's implemented. But guys, once all those profits coming in from everywhere else, the main pool is not affected. What happens once profits come in, the price of token regains again. So guys, what this is, and it took us some time to understand it because me and Matthias have never seen a project like this before. When you understand the mechanics of how the whole ecosystem is working, these guys have anticipated a few events. That gives myself and Matthias huge confidence in the project we're a part of. So, Matthias, have you any more questions to ask one?
Yeah, I've got questions because we have, let's say, 500,000 people using the app at the moment. We're talking to bring merchants to this platform. Will people have some benefits if they bring some merchants? For example, let's say I live in a little town in Poland. I can go to the restaurants and I can say, okay, listen, you can accept CTO, different cryptocurrency. I can go to my friend's shop, another friend's shop. Will I get some benefits to introducing the merchants?
We have not actually thought of that yet, but it would impact or it will benefit all members, not just only one. Okay, because the merchant discount or the merchant or the gas fee, you can say that, right, goes back into the pool, whereby it will actually push up the price, and everybody will gain from that.
Well, Ronald, I know some people are very lazy, so they prefer to sit at home. Okay, Matthew, you go and find the merchants. So maybe you can think about some solution get from every transaction.
Yeah,
stop 0.001% or something like that, just to make people more active. Then we will have thousands of merchants very, very fast.
Yeah, sure. Basically, you could suggest to us, then we will try to see the risk and the implications of it, because we don't want the situation whereby, let's say if you sign up McDonald's and then you get a huge pool and then we have to give you a lot of CTOs, you will make it imbalance again. It took us a long time to actually move the crypto whales out from Jarvis so that it's actually quite stable in Jarvis now, right? So we don't want to create the second problem with this again.
Well, you can pay them profit with, let's say, with BTC or whatever, you know?
Yeah, it might happen. So basically, it's a good idea. If you have something that you can suggest to us, we will try to discuss in our own action team, and we will see how we can implement it if it does able to benefit the agent or the member that can actually bring in more merchants to come in. Yes, that will be a very, very good idea.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm always, since I joined the business, I'm very excited about two things. Transparency, what I like the most, and that Ronald is very open with everybody. I met him a few times in person, a few times on the calls, and he's very open what the company is doing and with transparency of the pool and stuff like that, and with the trading. And the second part, I've always, since I joined the crypto world, for me, very important is that we creating around the token, the ecosystem, so we can spend the token. Because let's say I hire some programmers and I create X coin or X token. If there is no community and no ecosystem built, there is no value in this. So what I like the most, that you're creating a lot of ways that we can spend our CTOs and stuff like that, and ways that there is more income, there is more funds coming into the reserve pool. That's what I like a lot. And the mathematicians, I calculate all the time what can be happening in the future if we have a lot of merchants, a lot of transactions. The more transactions, the pool will grow faster and faster. So guys, we have a very small price, to be honest, today, about 47 cents, very small price. But when the company will bring, let's say, within the next 6 months, a lot of things to the ecosystem, then I believe the price will start growing faster. And also, what's very important, will be very sustainable price and stable price. You know, it won't be like going up very fast and jump down, because everybody will use the merchants. So I think this will be very, very stable price.
Yeah. So basically, when we designed this model, about 3 years ago, we thought about one thing. We asked ourselves, okay, what is the basis of a currency? What is the currency being backed by? Of course, now we know that a currency is backed by the number of business that is done, the GDP of the country, and all of these things, plus the debt and all of this. It actually creates the value. So if you look at CTO itself, right, the value is the business that is flowing around it, and that's what sets the price. Not like the ICOs that you see there, which is all by sentiment. Even if you look at Bitcoin, it's based on sentiment. Look at Ethereum, it's based on sentiment. That's why it can go super high one day and drop to absolutely a very crazy low price in the next, because there's nothing there to actually support it. There's no business to support it. Why traditional investors can't understand crypto is because it's not supported by anything. What CTO is taking crypto and making it logic again. It needs to be supported by business, supported by people. So that's what we are trying to build now.
Because to be honest, because you've got the reserve pool, you could buy gold for this, for example, only, and it could be backed by gold because you've got the pool.
Yeah, you could actually, yes. We were actually discussing and toying with it, right? So if I were to actually buy gold and store it, then it's good. But the problem is, you guys need to withdraw. So I have to take the gold and sell it back to Ethereum and come back again. Of course. That would be kind of a waste of the time, right?
Yeah.
So we have toyed with a lot of ideas in the beginning.
And guys, before we finish up, what's very important as well to understand is this: we've been involved in some really good projects in the past few years, and you know, some of the owners had a great vision, and the vision was to build something with true utility. But the problem that we encountered wasn't the owner's vision. It was the technology to back it up. Sometimes what happens in companies, they have to outsource the technology and rely on a third party. You know, in this project, we discovered very early on, we have the technology, Ronald's background is in this space. So Ronald doesn't have to depend on somebody else to deliver on what he's delivering. So like if you go into any project, you know, if you bet on the technology, you're over halfway there. What you just need then behind that is a team that's integrity is there, the honesty is there, and the transparency is there. And I think right now, with the timing where we are right now, all the components are fitting together. So guys, we're setting ourselves up for the next few years. We're taking this business by storm. We're 100% focused on Cloud Token. We will not look or entertain any other project in the marketplace. This is where all our focus is now. So we encourage all of you guys to jump on board with us with this project. We do a lot of traveling all over the world. We do a lot of tours. Guys, we're setting ourselves up. Ronald, I want to really thank you from myself, from Matthias, from everybody around the world who's looking right now for this amazing project. You're transforming lives all over the world. So thank you so much, Ronald. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronald.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.